Back at home in Palo Alto, our Stanford Cardinal will host the New Mexico Lobos in their chance to welcome them to the Pac-12 this season. But honestly, for the Lobos, this has been a pretty solid move up to the Pac. And they are coming off their first Pac-12 win as well, despite their 22-point comeback attempt in the fourth quarter. That was also their fourth game against Pac-12 teams this season. They've lost all but one, but frankly, that's not too bad considering how many Pac-12 teams you have in the top 25. But the good news for the Lobos is they do have their senior quarterback back healthy in Emmanuel Paredes. He's had a split time this year with the junior quarterback in Sam Kwan, both of which are having solid seasons, and the completion percentage is dead on. And once again this year, we are facing a receiver who's averaging at least 75 yards a game in Jacques Barmore. And on the defensive side, they do have two leaders, Eli Vaughn at left end and at free safety, Eli Rossi. But the big push today for our Stanford Cardinal is to see Nathan Henderson climb back up this Heisman list. And if the defense continues to make stops like they have with Nathan Henderson and Joseph Henry leading the way, and the offense scores some points while keeping the game clean, we might just get to see a few more of these young players hit the field yet again while our starters stay healthy. So as we get set to kick a rainy day off at the farm, we're looking to keep our win streak on rolling well by 35 games. Lobos set back to return and will take it inside the 5 with a big hit coming in is Nicholson, flattening the returner at the 13 for Paredes and the Lobos offense to hit the field. And for this defense, they're hoping to have a bigger impact in this game, though obviously still picking up that win last week, and Dragon with a TFL play one. Soto, he stood no chance in the backfield as the Cardinal brought that double A gap blitz. I honestly forgot what we were talking about before that. 2nd and 14, and Dragon, he's back again. A third pick on the year. He's not able to get that stiff arm and get outside, but at the 18. It's shorter than a short field here for the Stanford Cardinal. But for the fans out here bearing the weather, that is the kind of play we want to give them. Offense starts inside the red zone. Trips look to the right-hand side. Letting this one develop, throwing high, and had Lockett, but it goes in and out of his hands. It was a nice high-pointed ball as well. There was an injury as well on that play to one of the Lobos defenders. And following a quick stop there, already 3rd down here. New Mexico, they're trying to get a stop. But throwing this one outside, it's back to and tipped away Lockett. After a free drive here down at the goal line, offense might be coming away here empty-handed. Though going with a pass to the outside and is caught at the sideline. They convert. Throwing was the kicker Sam Ritter. Offense right back out there. And looking to dance around here is Sorensen, getting back towards the middle of the field. It was as about a gain of 5. Wicks brings him down, and it's 2nd and goal. And Wesovich tackled for a loss on the play. Ojabo makes the play, and it's now 3rd and goal. Cardinal, they want to convert here. They can't miss out on several opportunities out the gate as Sorensen scrambles to the outside. No one left to contain. And after a 4th down conversion, starting the drive inside the red zone, the Cardinal do finally get that touchdown they just made. Just wait a little bit longer for it. But it's 7 points off the Dragon TFL, followed by the interception. Can he make it 3 straight plays? As the defense heads out here to start their next drive, going with the screen, they go opposite side of Dragon, and Soto will have one. If the middle stays clogged, they might just try to go outside. That's what it looks like the adjustment is here to start the next drive. And counter, Soto to the outside, but Lovelace tracks him down. They lose one on the play. going hurry up. We saw a lot of that last week. We saw a lot of quick throws as well last week that took away that pass rush. 3rd and 10, we'll see if they can show up here as they do spread out. As Paredes gets his team set up. But the throw will come out, and it's going to be well short of the line to gain. Maybe a gain of 1 and a punt. Now the field won't be as short as it was last time, but still starting in plus side just by the 50. Bunch look to the right-hand side. And some play action. Throwing high and through the hands of Wesovich. So far, a lot of passing out the gate. We'll see if that's going to be the game plan here today against this Lobos defense. Sorensen barking out some calls. And it'll be a handoff here. Taj Jewell down the middle. He spins off, but the DT comes over to collect. A gain of 7 on the Taj Jewell run. He'll stay in the backfield here for 3rd and 3. Hard count. Should have been a free play. They don't flag it. Spinning and throwing and hitting that ball, though, passed well behind is Bargava. He definitely had a slow start to the season, but he's come alive through the middle half. Checking this one down, that'll be to Wesovich. We'll have to fight to get back to the line. The Lobo defense is there to deny. Cardinal lose one on the play, setting up 2nd and 11. A little shift right-hand side is Bargava. Coming across, and we'll find Lockett this time. 2 drops already in this game. Well, the 3rd target seems to be the key. At the 20, motion all the way across is Thrash, who's got space to the outside. And I don't think the quarterback and the receiver were on the same page. Looked like Sorensen trying to throw him a little bit more open. It's Sorensen on the keeper here and nowhere to go. Lobos showing that they know how to slow down this offense, forcing another 3rd down here. Cardinal need the 10, still at the 20. 2 receiver spread either side. As Sorensen dances around, tries to get the juke, but the defender on the outside just sits on it. And once again, it'll be Sam Ritter stepping on out here for the Stanford Cardinal. With a 4th and 4, they're going right back to the fake. And 2 times it works. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's got to be what the Lobos are thinking out there. Stanford Cardinal keeping their drives alive here. And in the back of the end zone, and caught Bargava. No matter the pressure that they've faced so far up front. Sitting back there, Sorensen waiting for someone to break open, and it's the senior. And Rafael Bargava, back of the end zone. Cardinal double their lead. And for Coach Barrington, it's an interesting tactic out the gate with a lot of passing. But it's going to have to be a lot of passing for the Lobos if they're to find themselves back into this one. Dragan with the hit, doesn't get the tackle. But he does slow them down in the backfield, and the Cardinal rally to bring him down for a loss of 2. As we move inside 50 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. And it will be another play action pass attempt as Henry with the sack. Back at the 2, a 3rd and 22. And once again, he sits just half a sack behind the Heisman hopeful in Nathan Henderson. Cardinal look to bring the blitz. Blocking will hold up enough to gain 2, but they're still going to have to punt standing in their own end zone. That will be for after the break. 1st quarter has come to an end here with a net gain of negative 13 yards for the Lobos in that 1st quarter. Plus, with the turnover that gave the Cardinal the ball inside the 20. A lot of mistakes, but the punt will be out clean here. And unless this punt goes backwards or there's a penalty, it'll be another drive starting plus side. This just being the 2nd longest drive to go here. Starting inside the 45 and breaking all the way across is Wesovich, double trucking a ghost out there. Perhaps a rain droplet found its way into his eyes and he was having to shake it out. Either way, he picks up a gain of 6. Going with the screen here, and it's off the hands of Jewell. Unfortunate play there as they did have space. Wesovich will check back in here, 3rd and 4, the bunch to the right-hand side. And we'll throw to the trailing receiver, this time finding Thrash. It's the 1st down. Cardinal continuing with their heavy pass look out the gates here today. They're down to the 30. 2 receivers either side. And Sorensen's gonna go down. Ramon Trinidad coming off that left side of this front. He'll secure the sack. Loss of 5 for the Cardinal. And again, Sorensen having to step up here. Looks to use his blockers, which he will, picking up 14. He's had a lot of success scrambling around this year for the Stanford Cardinal. They bring in Babineau, 3rd and 1. Follow that fullback, and Wesovich will have enough. Nothing fancy, but it does get the job done for the Cardinal. At the 19, and Thrash is tall. Not tall enough to bring that one in cleanly. Defender able to get a piece of it. Forcing 2nd and 10 here at the 19. Stretch to the left-hand side. Wesovich cuts under the block, and he will go untouched to the end zone. Cardinal have already opened up a 21-point lead, and we're just a couple minutes into the second quarter. Early indications very much look like this is not going to be a good game for the Lobos. They've struggled offensively. They got to find something going here, but shaking off a sack and then finding a dump off. We'll go from a loss of about 4 to a gain of 4. In net total, that's a flip of 8 yards, though they still have a little bit of work to do before they find positive yards. At the 20 here, and they're going to have everyone flood one side. Pressure builds before he releases that one to the kicker's net. It definitely looks like Paredes is a little bit flustered back there facing a stout Cardinal front. As they bring the blitz, it will be Henderson picking up his first sack of the game, going back up 1.5 at the top of the Cardinal sack board. I'm sure he's also hoping that'll get him back up the Heisman board as well. But following a pretty good punt, Cardinals starting on their own side for the first time this game. Though still at the 45, Wesovich down the middle will pick up 3. We've seen a little bit from him, but just not a whole lot in total with the run game so far outside that touchdown. Jewell with another chance here. This time he holds on. He's following his blocks downfield and will have the first down. But he appears to be a little bit shaken up after that play. Will make his way to the sideline. He did take a pretty solid hit square to the chest on that one. More of the scat back, not used to those kind of hits. First and 10, Wesovich back in, and he's got more space right down the gut. Wesovich tracked down at the 6. He thought he had 6, but instead it'll be first and goal for the Cardinal as he passes. 645, a random number to bring up here. Before the junior in his first year as the starting back, he'll take it. Bigham's going to check in here with a breather for Wesovich as they go back to the air, rolling. And Sorensen tried to cut underneath, but the block didn't come from his receiver. I'm sure some will say he probably should have thrown it. A couple receivers were open there, but he stuck with the clean play. That's why he only has 3 interceptions this year. Keeping it here and coming from the backside. Though an injury, Niles Hellslop up front. But it was Eli Rossi there, star at free safety, who did get that tackle. 3rd and goal at the 2. They flip the formation. Ben Vallejo in motion. It's jet sweep with plenty of blockers this time. The senior receiver will take it around the edge for a 4-touchdown lead for your home team. Make that 28-0. The dominant start just continues here for the Stanford Cardinal. And we could very well be on our way to what we saw last game as well, with this starting team getting off the field at half. Soto, though, with some nice blocking, he's got a first down for the Lobos. But he appears to be shaken up, clutching at his lower back. Hope Sar's just a little stinger or perhaps a little back spasm. We've all been there. But we're inside 3 minutes to go here this half. Running back 2 checks in, and he's got 1. With those last 2 plays, New Mexico, they now have positive yards on the game. So that's at least somewhat of a step forward. Coverage is tight, and they're going to give that sack to Nathan Henderson, but it looked like he was coming from the side of Henry. In fact, as we take a second look at that one, indeed it was Henry. So we got a problem in the booth with the wrong graphic. It also looked like some competitive chat between teammates following that sack as well. As a dump-off happens, Soto back in the game. He shakes the tackle of Lovelace before Manu Cave with a good open field tackle brings him down. That'll be a fresh set inside the 2 minutes. And they had the wheel for a second, but make it another sack. 3 on the day for Joseph Henry. And it actually looks like there is an injury to Henderson. And that graphic is staying up on the board. So we really do have a problem with someone up in the booth. But that's not going to stop Tyrone Heggie from getting the pick. And we'll see if at some point someone can get a call to the booth here to get this injury update off our screen. We hope Nathan Henderson is all right. There we go. It leaves. But Tyrone Heggie with a great interception. Second this half for this Cardinal defense. We'll look for an update at halftime on Henderson. See what decision coach ends up making. Wide open. They've got Bargava, who's looking for that slip lane. Not going to quite fight off of some of these tackles. Cardinal have come close a few times with it. The rain, though, surprisingly not helping. At the 14 here, 1st and 10. Taking closer to a minute left in this one. Motioning across. That is the young man in Lockett. But going to Kramer with one to beat. He brings him down. I'd like to see the big body tight end mow over that guy, but just not going to be the case this time. Tight shotgun look, inside 30 seconds to go. And it's Sorensen into the end zone. Cardinal will make it 35-0 before halftime. As long as the Lobos don't find anything crazy here in the last 22 seconds of the first half. And that they would not. Just running clock to the break will be a 5-score deficit for the Lobos. Joe Wesovich had a really impressive run, a couple actually really impressive runs, nearly 2 touchdowns on the day. But just in all, the offense has dominated. They've had majority short fields out there. And despite a couple bumps here and there, they continue to find the end zone. And shout out to the defense for continuing to give them short field after short field. And speaking of defense, we'll definitely see Nathan Henderson exit this game, though coach says he's going to be okay. At this point, it's mostly just precautionary. It might affect his Heisman candidacy. But overall, our main goal is going to be focused on our 3rd straight national championship as play 1 comes with a flag. That'll be on Barcow checking in at left guard, so he's got to make up for that here on a 1st and 15. Back at the 20, and it's a draw. Bigham's another chance, and this time he's got the first down and more, going for about 23 as Eli Rossi's shaken up a little bit on that tackle. Now, we've only seen bits and pieces from Bigham's, and he's shown some power, but that was probably his best run yet. And dancing around, Sorgi throws outside. That's Bigham's showing off some hands as well. He's down to the 30. Or actually, they mark him at the 28. Good use of the hands there from the running back, and now it's the opposite. Wesovich is checking in to give Bigham's the breather. With a 1st and 10, they bring that blitz. Rolling and throwing. They've got Cameron, but it's off his hands. James Wicks breaks that one up, and it's 2 spread here for the Cardinal on 2nd down. Going with a screen to the outside, and Bargava will have a few. But ultimately, that does still leave the Cardinal needing 7 more here. Sorgi sticking with that 2 spread either side. This will be a free play for the Stanford Cardinal, as he has to bail backwards, though still finds his target. That's Thrash down inside the 10 with a Cardinal first down. You can decline the penalty on Trinidad. Well, despite the second team offense checking into this game, they're not slowing down at all. Bigham's left side, and he just punches Rossi. Returning to this game, though, Doug Barcow banged up on that same play. So both sides getting a little bit roughed up to start this second half. 2nd and goal at the 6. It's a pistol strong eye set for the Cardinal. And throwing to the end zone. Thrash makes the adjustment on the throw behind and tacks on the Cardinal 6th touchdown of the game. We've already got 40 points on the board here, and we still got a quarter plus 7 more minutes to go. And for any Lobo fans still tuning into this game, unfortunate news for you. If the previous games this year is really anything to show, Your team's a first half team, not so much a second half. So Bree gets the tackle there as Paredes does pick up 5 on the scramble, but a negative 22 yards for him. Could have been more, but he gets that pass out with a diving stop. Rico body, he laid out to push that receiver out of bounds. 1st and 10 with another check down here. They've got 5 more. Soto. New Mexico having their smoothest start to a drive so far this game. As they go to Soto and shaking off the tackle, he's got another first down for the Lobos. This time, they're plus side for the first time this game at the 36. RPO to the tight end with a spin move. He breaks 2 tackles and finds another first down. Against the second team defense, New Mexico is moving. Now that was a problem we did see in the last game. The second team defense came out here and really didn't play much defense at all. Plenty of time. Paredes, he's going to scramble, picking up 12 to 13. Not seeing much pressure up front. Not seeing a whole lot of good coverage downfield either. Lobos inside the 15 as they'll go to Soto outside, trying to get the tackle with his back, though. Got to appreciate that, Sabri. Caleb Kafka, though, the 6'5 safety, comes down to actually get that stop. Back to the running game and hopping over Sabri, picking up a quick 5. That leaves the Lobos needing 6 more here on 3rd down, or they'll have to settle for a field goal attempt. Quick throw, and I think the linebacker might be gambling on this game because he just ran away from that tight end. New Mexico gets on the board in a interesting fashion. But overall, seems like Coach Barrington's second team defense still has a long way to go. A young group who has not seen much of any playing time. But it's back over to the offense at the 18 for number 18. Staying in this drive, and Bigham's right back down the middle. He's got about 15, maybe more. Only 3 rushes for him today, but north of 40 yards. That's what we like to see. As we're approaching 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd, it's back to Bigham's, who's going to show some speed to the outside, though the shimmy fooled no one. As multiple players injured on this play. Rossi for New Mexico and Lockett for our Stanford Cardinal. So Cameron and Thrash will be your primary receivers here, the 2-receiver set. Hopefully both players able to bounce back. I know Rossi's been dealing with injuries throughout this game. That's really the first we've seen from Lockett. 2nd and 6. Setting up the halfback screen to the power back. And not a truck stick. Instead, he just tosses a man off of him. We're just so used to Wesovich bulldozing guys that a little bit of a shock to anyone. As it's Bigham's down the middle, he shakes off that DT, and he's got another first down run. Now 70 yards for him, and Wesovich right back out here. Bargava Vallejo having to check back into this game right-hand side. Sorgi, open receiver to the left. He's found him. Thrash will get at least 8 before being taken down. Cardinal going hurry up here, trying to find some points before the end of the quarter. Not that they've been in any short supply. 2 receivers stay either side. Sorgi rolling, open receiver, and Thrash will have another as it was vacated across the middle. Cardinal find one more here before we even make it to the 4th quarter to turn this game 49-7. For the Lobos, they've got just one more quarter and a play to try to get some more stuff done out here. Their last drive pretty successful. That'll be a throwaway, though, to end the 3rd quarter. To the 4th we go. Stanford well in charge, and I don't think anyone thought it would be otherwise, as they're still fighting to get back to that number 1 spot. But beating up on a New Mexico Lobos team, even if they are in the Pac-12, I don't think that's going to help them out with the votes all too much. Pass outside and caught for the first down. Lane out there in coverage, just playing a little bit too soft. 1st and 10 of the 31 as they'll go back to the air. And a new quarterback has checked into this game. Paredes is on the bench as Vieira gets the sack to welcome in the new man. And that is Sam Kwan, who has seen some playing time this year when the senior and Paredes was injured. Quick throw is gonna be jarred free, as now Maurice Alakai is shaken up on the play. So that'll bring in Bullet, the DT. Haven't seen too much from him. But a third and long is broken up. Kafka just standing tall over the man. But up 42 points, the Cardinal. They're going to retake the field starting at the 40. Bigham's the lone back, trying to follow his blockers, but Rossi is still there. Seems his injuries really haven't slowed him down in this game. Good news, Lockett back in for the Stanford Cardinal. But a 2nd and 16 as they go out to Wesovich. Not able to get around the edge. Good tackle in open field. Forces a 3rd and 15. Press on the outside, but the safety's sitting deep. Will be play action, and Thrash has the step. Sorgi puts it out for him, and he will track underneath it. A first down for the Stanford Cardinal to the 25. Unfortunately for Sorgi, there really is not a quarterback competition here right now, but he has shown some real promise. Play action, and going downfield, intercepted Rossi. They tried to get Sterling Babineau, and I think that was just one of those plays you draw up to try to make something fun happen. That one was telegraphed the whole way. And honestly, for Rossi, you've got to feel good about that, even if you're a Cardinal fan. That guy fighting through a lot of injuries today, and Lane with some poor coverage on the outside gives up a massive first down. But frankly, we have seen that coverage struggle in his time out there. So Bree, he's going to get that one right back for the Cardinal, though the celebration cut a little short on the field. Maurice Alakai needing help off the field. But a pair of interceptions, one for both sides here, and near back-to-back plays. Cardinal take back over at the 37, and it's Bigham's trying to find that lane quickly. He's got 3. He's come in today and really put good work in. One of the top running backs here on this game in terms of yardage. Though Wesovich trying to rival that as the defenders just clear out of his way. He'll take that to the 43. Once again, this Cardinal team, they are plus side. Will be play action. They're still trying to air out this ball downfield, turning into triple coverage, but still getting a hand on it. I believe that was Sylvia, their tight end. Falls incomplete at 2nd and 10 at the 43. And motioning across, that is Cameron, the true freshman. As they're going to try to get him out in space, and he gets clothesline. Massive hit on the young fella. Definitely not going to be able to hold on to that one. So 3rd and 10 at the 43, hard count, and how about we make that a 3rd and 5? And that should make things a little bit easier here for the Stanford Cardinal. They need just 5. Though they've got their receiver wide open downfield, it's Cameron, and the freshman will have a touchdown. It's a 50 bomb for the Stanford Cardinal, welcoming in New Mexico to the Pac-12. Though even losing this game 5-4, that might be a good enough record come the end to stay on top for a second year. But with only one Pac-12 win, they could be facing relegation. Gonna need more from their offense as they do get outside before getting slammed down. Didn't see the number on that. Might have been Sabri. Either way, it's a 1st and 10 here. The pass outside. I don't think that was tipped away. I think it just bounced off the face of the receiver, not prepared for it. It's 2nd and 10 with a break outside and through his hands. Now, New Mexico, they do have a lot of their backups in as well on offense. So these young guys, they're trying to make do with their opportunities, but it's 4th and 10. And the defense picks up a good stop. Well, that saves 3:27 to go. And I don't think we've had a game where we've hit 60-plus points. A touchdown would do that. As Thrash, he's got the step. He's got the touchdown. Never mind the 50 bomb. Let's drop 60 on the New Mexico Lobos. Welcome to Stanford's Pac-12. That'll be where we let this record-setting performance come to a close. 63 points scored by the Stanford Cardinal. And that is without a defensive touchdown or special teams touchdown. Paul Thrash ends up taking your player of the game with a $156 and 3 touchdown grabs. I knew he had 2. I wasn't even thinking of 3. But these young guys came in and they performed very well out there. Defense even showed some signs of growth. That second team unit could still use with some progress. For the Stanford Cardinal, they are 9-0. But not everything was sunshine and rainbows out there. Maurice Alakai in this game, he did tear his pec, so he's gonna miss the rest of this regular season, the postseason, as well as probably a good chunk of the offseason as well. We'll see how that affects his overall and potential growth, as he is just a sophomore. And in terms of accolades, well, we do not see Nathan Henderson move up in this Heisman list, but he does stay put, picking up, I think, a sack or 2. It actually says at the bottom, 5 tackles and a sack in that last game, only playing half a game. And I'm a little bit surprised that we did not see perhaps Joseph Henry jump back onto this list after he took home the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week. We also had that with Thrash, but for the offense. But taking a look here at this Heisman board, we are actually pretty familiar with at least 2 of these players, Ian Bayless with UW and Trevor Azur, who we beat in the national championship last year. I don't remember Josh Garcon, but perhaps we might be meeting up with Ohio State in the playoffs. As it's looking right now, both Ohio State and our Stanford Cardinal are looking at first round byes, Florida State and Georgia being the other 2. But we still have a few more games to go in the regular season. And next time it will be against Utah, who's been a perennial basement dweller in the Pac-12, or even going down to the Mountain West. They've kind of bounced back and forth. But then we got a rivalry game against Cal, who are trying to stay above 500, and Boise State to close out the regular season, who are 8-2. And they're also the last team to have beat our Stanford Cardinal almost 2.5 seasons ago. We know we've got to come prepared every time. Make sure you do as well by hitting that bell icon on the bottom right, or scrolling down, hitting that sub button and tapping that bell icon so you're notified when all these videos go live. And if you enjoyed a dominant showing out there, let the boys know by smashing that thumbs up, especially for that second team defense. As mentioned there in the game, they did show some signs of improvement. Still some work to go, and perhaps there's even one guy who I'm wondering if he's even going to make the team next year. So a lot to happen as we still have some time before College Football 26. Start to leave your recommendations in the comments below for who you would want to see us take over. And is it going to be Coach Barrington? Or is it even going to be a former player, one that you might not quite expect? We'll see you around as our Stanford Cardinal go on the road to Utah next time.